my gosh, you guys, I'm so glad you're here. This is such an exciting video, and I'm so glad to be sharing it with you. Welcome in if you're new. I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 women. How did that happen? I hope you'll consider subscribing while you're here and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you want all the good stuff, you might want to sign up for my Sunday morning email newsletter. The link is in the description box down below. Goes out every Sunday morning, clearly. And in it, I include all the cool things I found throughout the week, whether it's a great sale or a good piece of information or somebody really incredible like the guest I'm having today, or whatever I would share with you if we were out together having coffee like a couple of girlfriends, which we are. Again, the link is in the description box down below. It's super easy, super fun, super free. It is one of the most popular things about my channel. People grab their coffee on Sunday morning and can't wait to open up that Sunday morning email newsletter. I'd love for you to join the party. Today, I have such an exciting guest, and I kind of have a little girl crush on her. I just think she is doing a fabulous job at a very, very interesting topic that we ladies, we all need to be very aware of. And her name is Amber Haddock, and I found her on Instagram. I'm not kidding you. I'm not on Instagram that much, and I rarely ever have my volume on, but I must have had it on that day because I was scrolling and I saw this beautiful blonde woman, and she was talking about staying safe. Well, she kind of hooked me in, and I spent the next 30 minutes binge watching all her videos because the tips were so great. You guys know I am a single woman. I do a lot of stuff alone. I learned a lot. It's actually, I don't even know how I'm live today with all I've learned from Amber. So I had Amber on, oh gosh, a few weeks back. It was wonderful, but it was very, very short because we ended up having technical difficulties. Well, there were so many questions and so much enthusiasm for that time with Amber that I told her, girl, we got to get this on. We got to do this again. So that's what we're doing today. And I want to welcome in the gorgeous, extremely wise, and extremely talented Amber Haddock. Welcome in, Amber.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me back on.
Oh, I'm so thrilled to have you here because I want to pick your brain. I need to know all the things that you know so that I can stay safe as things get a little crazier in the world. Have you guys noticed the world's getting a little crazy? So I think, Amber, we do need to talk about it. First of all, for those who didn't catch the first video that we did together, and if you didn't see that, it's going to be listed in the description box down below. Go on over and watch that one after you're done here, because there's going to be information in that one we're not going to cover here, but we're going to march forward with some additional information. But Amber, before we get started, tell everybody who you are. How on earth did a good-looking blonde girl get in the stay safe category of living, and share with us how you got to where you are today?
Thank you. I'll make it short because we only have a little bit, but I'm a former Dallas County police officer. I served about 3 years, and gosh, the training was phenomenal, but the job for me, it was really tough to keep getting called out for the same thing that the individual could actually help themselves do if they were more aware. So 3 years of that, I decided to move on to my career as an executive protection agent, which is, Americans call it bodyguard. So I've been a bodyguard for about 15 years. And in doing that, I love because you can go before the client, you can receive the client and make sure everything's safe and secure for the client to come into that country or come into that scenario. So after that, COVID hit, and I'm a firearms instructor as well. And I just see the world going a little south. And that's why I started Instagram. And as soon as I started Instagram, like it just blew up. It's simple awareness, simple keys to keep you, the individual, safe. And it doesn't have to be with a gun. It's literally your eyes have to be open. And that's what I want to do today.
Gosh, you know, you hit the nail on the head. And I think that's why I was so attracted to your information, because it was simple. You know, I'm an older woman. I'm going to be 67 in a month. So
You wouldn't have guessed it.
Staying safe is important to me. And you're right, the world's getting a little crazy, and we probably don't feel that underlying safety feeling in the US as much as we have in the past. It's seeming a little bit more turbulent right now. And your tips are just so easy to implement. Let's go ahead and launch in right now, because most of us watching are more mature. We're probably over 50. Some ladies that are on this channel are 80, 80 and 90. What kind of issues specifically do you look at with women, more mature women, and what can we start thinking about to make sure that we're living in a way that's going to keep us as safe as possible?
Absolutely. Well, we have to think about mobility. We have to think about accessibility. And when you think about those two things, you're going to have to start planning ahead a little bit better in your life. Call a friend if you need to go grocery shopping. If you can't get out, listen, Amazon, I'm not a huge fan, but it does have, it's positive. Front door service, call a friend, call your neighbor, cousin, whoever, just to say, hey, I need help with this. If that grocery store is your only way out of the house, which sometimes parents, even, younger parents with kids, like that's the mom's only way out is the grocery store. Plan ahead, make sure you have extra time when you're going, look around, because at the grocery store, what happens is when you leave, you 99% go home. So who's following behind you? Consistently looking around and seeing that if that one person was in the grocery store with you and now is at your next spot and then now is in your neighborhood, you've got to just be on the lookout. Not necessarily everyone's following you, but just keep an eye out. So that's the accessibility is key. And if you have someone with you, that's a bit of a buffer.
And that's exactly what you're so good at, is pointing out those things that are so obvious once you say it. It's like when you're in the grocery store, you go home. And anybody who wants to find out where you live, all they have to do is follow you home because you have frozen goods in the car and you get them in the freezer. It's so very obvious once you point it out, and your information is so very clear. So as time moves forward, maybe going out with a friend might be a choice that we make in the future. It's just a little bit more safe. What other things, for instance, I live alone. What are the things that I can do to just be a little bit more aware and a little bit safer in my home?
What is really cool is that if it is your home, you have what's called home advantage. You know where all the lights are. You know where the couch is. You know where the bedroom locks are. If you can fortify, hear me out, if you can fortify even a safe room, your bedroom door, maybe get an extra bolt or have a really secure lock on your door, have cell phones, have your battery backed up in your house, in that room, just in case. You got to call 911. Everyone has a cell phone. Hardly anyone has like a hard line anymore, but just for a backup, have other options. I am a firearms instructor, of course, but there are other options that you need to do and other items that you can place in areas where the front door, they're not going to come through the wall. So let's just start there. We just need to fortify the windows a little bit more. How do the locks go? Is it inside? Can it just be pushed open? Can a rock go through it? What do you have in your garden? What do you have at your window? Do you have a rose bush? They've got besides they're pretty, they've got their thorns. Just little things like that. Even our second story, like my apartment, a second story house, bad people can get ladders too. I think they're like $20, $30 at Home Depot. Anyone can go get a ladder. So don't think that your second story is safe. Just go up and lock the doors, lock the windows. Don't be that person that doesn't lock your doors.
I think I saw a YouTube short with you. And if you're not following Amber on YouTube and on Instagram, you got to. It is so fascinating. You'll get hooked too. I'll have all her links in the description box down below. I promise you spend a little time every week with Amber, you're going to feel a whole lot more capable of keeping yourself in a good situation. But Amber, the video, I think I saw a short on YouTube about what you put on your nightstand at night.
Yeah.
Can you go over that for us?
Absolutely. So I always keep a flashlight. Things do happen in the day, and sometimes, the lights go off and you need a flashlight, right? So same thing at nighttime, you need a flashlight. I always have my weapon with me, whatever weapon you feel comfortable with. And the weapon is broad. I didn't just say GUN, right? And then you have your car keys. The car keys has an alarm. So you hear a bump in the night, hit that first. Flashlight second. Let's see what's going on. Get up, close your bedroom door, lock it. Like I just said before, do you have a good lock on your door? Fortify yourself. And if the alarm alarm would scare off anyone because that's, bringing attention to your house, your car. Where's your car parked? Usually it's really close to your front door.
Okay, so let's go from here, because this is a question I have, and my position has changed on this so much. And I know there are a lot of you really cool women out there who are already down the road on getting a personal weapon.
Right.
I never did. I'm kind of like little Miss Love, Light, and Humanity.
So am I.
I'm catching on that maybe things are not as safe out there as I hope they could be. And I am actively looking at choices for safety, a weapon. And there's lots of types of weapons. For instance, there's bear spray, there's wasp spray, there's a baseball bat by the front door, there's a taser, there's a GUN. We'll use the pow pow.
The pow pow.
Because we don't know. So there's lots of choices out there. And I'm honestly, and you guys are going to be surprised at this, I'm honestly considering, getting something that is more of a larger impact.
I like a larger impact. I like
Yeah.
very nice.
So can you talk to us, particularly from someone like me? I'm the perfect kind of person that's going to, shoot my foot off,
Well, you're only going to shoot your foot off if you practice that way. So if you go to the range and practice safety and practice pointing the gun down range and not at your feet, finger off the trigger, very basic rules that you will learn at the range. Get with a trainer. If you're a first time shooter, I think what happens now is you go to the front desk and say, hey, I'm a first time shooter. They'll put somebody with you, an instructor. So they will teach you the basic rules. And there are 4 basic rules that you point the gun down range away from your foot. Once you start doing that and those measures, same with the bear spray. Same with the wasp spray. Go outside in a safe, secure location, get a chair, put it out to where, I'm saying this is for bear spray and wasp spray, not the pew pew. That's at a gun range. But go outside and spray it and see, hey, there's a wind. The wind, it's coming back at me. So you have to practice with your tools that you create for yourself and your family. So like you said, you're solo alone. You go outside, grab a lawn chair, grab your wasp spray, bear spray, whatever you choose, and go out and see what it does. Even the gel spray, for humans, right? For self-defense, whatever you purchase, go try it. Go outside. The wind is going to be huge. Is it raining? What if a bad person comes at you in the rain? Is that going to really work? It's a lot to think about. Don't want to overwhelm anyone, but you really do have to same thing with the grocery store, same thing with the gas station. Well, okay, if I'm at the gas station, I'm on E. I'm going to fuel up my vehicle. So I have a full tank of gas. Someone can knock me over the head and jump in my car. They have 200 miles on a full tank of gas. So you just have to forethink what we're doing here. What are we doing in your daily life?
Yeah.
Like I said, go back to the bear spray. Go try your tools. Go to the gun range. Figure out what pew pew fits your hand. Not all guns are the same. I have several for my executive protection. I have to figure out, are we standing? Are we in a black tie situation? Am I in the car? Do I have kids? Do the clients have kids? Where am I going to put my gun so the kids don't see it? No, you just have to go day by day and what we're doing. You know what you're doing today. Okay, I'm low on something, low on gas. You got to figure out your day.
Thank you for that. Have you worked with older women, teaching them this type of information, and how does it go?
It's a conversation, just like what we're having. I know it's an awareness course, but it's also an awaken. You have to be awake. You can't just, I don't know if I can say this, but half-ass. We're doing a lot of that. And I think as we get older, like the world is changing so much, and the world is changing so fast. Like even the kids are learning so fast now with Chat GPT. There's so much now, the internet, they have full access. I didn't grow up, high school, I think it came out, the internet, So a lot of people are now, with COVID gone, and now a lot of people aren't going back to work because they're online making money, which is fine. But a lot of people can't keep up with the internet. So they are unfortunately going back to crime, which is the one-on-one. Now we're seeing a lot of people, unfortunately, they're coming in groups now. It used to be a one-on-one scenario, but now it's 4 people attacking one person. So you really have to be aware. And I think the conversation is just like this. It's time to wake up. Well, what do I need to do today? Let's just take a second and breathe. It's going to be fine. You have to be aware, because I'll tell you, the bad guy are going to watch you. And it's like a lioness in the wild. If I'm the lioness, I'm not going to go after the strong lion. I'm going to go after the weak one. So a part of my program is just not to look weak. If your head's up, out of your phone, especially for the kids, even for my older women, be alert, eyes up, looking around, head on a swivel. You don't have to have a weapon for that. That is your strength, is to come into the scenario, wherever, grocery store, gas station, and you are alert. That alone, the bad people are like, oh, well, she's alert. I'm not going to get her. I'm going to wait for the next one. I'm waiting for the little 22-year-old with her iPhone and looking and pumping gas.
You know, that's so funny. One of the gals that left a comment in our last video, she said, I look people right. I am like staring them down, like I am here and I'm aware. And I thought, oh, that's so good. And you just confirmed the fact that if you're looking aware and you're not backing down and you've got a little bit of a strong stance, you're so much less likely to look like an attractive victim.
It's 80%. It's 80% of it. Just look aware, look up, not harmless right here, not harmless.
I know, that's the name of Amber's. I love that, not harmless. I'll tell you what, I am so excited about all this information and the fact that you're starting this, because we need you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so let's drill down to some specifics. And these are questions that people had, the ladies had from our last conversation. Let's talk about the crossbody bags. Good, bad, indifferent. How do we carry our stuff with us as we're out in the safest way?
So interesting. I did a video on Instagram about this, because I have a lot of questions too. Like even the younger crowd, it is a huge question. And for me personally, I'll start with me first. I do use crossbodies, but I have my weapon on me. I also have my credit cards, all my license near me, on me, in here, in my pockets. And the crossbody bag is just for other items, my lady items, makeup, monthly stuff, supplies, anything else goes in there. So the bad people want that bag. They want that crossbody. Well, if you're going to use it, make sure you be able to give it to them without any drama and let them go on their way. That's the best way I can describe it. So if you're going to use a crossbody bag, like my mom's and my dad's that have the diaper bag, they have crossbody. It's like sometimes I have backpacks, but it's a crossbody, and they've got diapers, bottle stuff, kid stuff. As long as you have all your gear, your credit cards, your license on you, your back pocket, front pocket, your little pockets here.
I use the boob wallet.
Yeah.
I just stuff.
I mean, if you're going to come for this, I mean, that's on you. But a lot of people who carry the pew pew in their bag, and I'm like, just don't do it. It's just the bad. Think about, like, you also have to think about be a bad person. If I see a crossbody bag, that's an easy pull. I can take that. In New York, what they're doing, if you have a crossbody bag, someone behind you gets a knife, cuts that portion behind you, and you don't even know it's gone. I mean, close quarter, like your London, UK, that stuff's happening. They're just cutting a knife and your bag's gone. You can't catch it. There's no way to catch it. So that's my theory on crossbody bags. You do with whatever you want with that information. I still carry a crossbody bag, but I have all my credit cards, everything else on me, and just like BS in the bag, just like my personal stuff.
Your lipstick. They can have your lipstick.
Yeah, they can have that. That's fine.
Yeah. This is something that I'm really conflicted about, like a Ring security system around the home that has all the cameras. Yeah. I have never had one of those, because I feel like that's just another way for the government to surveil me. Because all that data is collected somewhere. I just think you're just, not only are you tracking everything I do on the internet, now you want to see what I'm doing in my house. But there's a part of me that thinks, well, maybe having a camera on my front porch is a good idea. So what do you think? And what do you tell your clients about that?
do your research on the camera system. There's so much coming out right now. For me, anything lights, sound, in addition to recording. So we're not just recording someone breaking into my house. We're using alarms plus alarms. I think there's something called floodlights. I think you said Ring. I think Ring has that. I think Blink is coming out with that. Anything, same with the car alarm. Have your car keys beside your bed. That's the first thing you push is an alarm. So anything that has an alarm system, meaning sight, which is lights, and ears, which is an alarm. I would do your research. Don't just have something videoing the scenario. People have to have like something to look at, right? Like a car alarm. Somebody's looking at the car alarm at your house, the Ring, the floodlights. Not only is everyone awake in the neighborhood, they're going to see what's happening because of the floodlights. So if you can have something in addition to something filming, do that. I mean, yes, definitely. Yeah, the government, whatever, all that. But, you're also not doing anything illegal. So, you want to be safe and you want to make sure that you are lit up like a Christmas tree if somebody comes through that door.
Those are all such great tips. And pointing out, and we need to think about things differently instead of just I'm scared to what are the elements that go into if someone has bad intentions, sight, ears, there's a process to stopping any activity like this that we can implement. What I'm wondering, maybe you've already thought about this. Do you ever do it like one-on-one classes or like group classes on Zoom? Because I would love to get 10, 12 girlfriends together.
Oh, great.
Have you lead us through as long as you need,
Right.
so that we can set up our lives in a way that makes sense, that we feel more comfortable. And I think if you feel more comfortable, you feel a little bit more strong in your position.
You really do. Yeah. And I can definitely do that. I've been hired out to go to state wherever and like have 20 women doing a real estate group here next week. And the realtors want to be more safe. So yeah, I definitely would love to get together with you on that and teach people what I do in my house and my apartment in other states. And I can look at your floor plan and, we can figure something out together. That'd be great. That's a wonderful idea.
I know that realtors, and I've had several girlfriends who are realtors, they're in a very precarious situation because they're meeting people they don't know, oftentimes in an empty house. So being safe as a realtor is a real issue. I would imagine that could be a real helpful piece of information for the realtors out there, is like, how do you manage? Because just going out to meet someone in a home to show them a home, you're really putting yourself in quite a situation
It's not like the old days. I guess I'll just say it. I had a client 2 weeks ago. I had an open house and a gentleman pulled up. I think they had like 5 people in the house, one realtor. A gentleman pulled up in a Tesla, brand new Tesla, got out, went in, waved at the realtor, got the brochure, which had the floor plan in the house, went straight upstairs, opened up drawers in the office space, got a couple credit cards, went straight back downstairs, waved at the realtor again, went to the garage. Guess what he got? Car keys, a garage door opener, and the house keys. Walked out and said, "Hey, thank you. I'll contact you next week." Got back in his Tesla. Now, thankfully, this was an old client. It was a really big house. I'm like 5 bedroom, 6 bath. It was just massive, $3.2 million house. And thank God I did a security, just what you were saying, come to the house and help. And I told them to put a camera in certain locations. And thank God they listened, because they caught him going upstairs.
They watched the whole thing.
They watched the whole thing. And then they called me. They called the police. Of course, that's what you do. Call the police first, not me. But this was a client. So I was there. I got there. I mean, I was hired. My security team was hired for like a week and just to sit on the house. Of course, it was a BMW. So the BMW had to come, tow the car, do the whole thing because it's a Beamer. I mean, and that one, 2 car keys. It's a lot. It was a lot. Changed the keys, the locks to the house, 17 door, I mean, it was ridiculous. So
yeah, let's save ourselves, ladies. Let's save ourselves.
It's a lot. Yeah. So, and also with the realtors, my security firm, we do go and help realtors. We're hired. I'm dressed like this and I'm just in the house. I'm a guest. I'm hanging out. If you can't get 2 realtors, and I understand that there's a profit to be made, and I don't know how that works, but if they hire us, We don't want profit. We just want, our 5 hours, and we're hanging out and we're watching everything. And we're just, not in a police uniform. We're just hanging out and watching everything. So it's a backup plan to the backup plan.
You got to be one of the best looking security people out there.
My God, thank you.
It's like you're an adornment to the thing.
Thank you.
I want to go back to the car situation, because most of, that's how we do our deal these days. We're not out on a bicycle. We're going in our car. Can you give us just the basics of making sure that that vehicle is a safe place for us to be? And how do we get in and out of the car with packages, talking cell phone, the whole thing? How do we do it in a way that's going to, reduce the chance that someone's going to see us as a good target?
That's a loaded question. One, you noticed that you said on the cell phone. That's got to go. I mean, I know you're not texting and driving or on the phone driving, but when you're parked, take 2 to 10 seconds. There's something called environmental check. It's what we call it as agents. What does your environment look like? Let's just say 7-Eleven. I'm throwing something out there. My local gas station that I go at a certain time. So I pull up to the gas station. When I park my vehicle, you have to know your vehicle. So hear me out and then implement it to whatever vehicle you guys have. So I put my car in park. My doors automatically unlock. When I put it in park, I automatically lock my doors. I take 10 seconds. I'm going to look around. I'm going to see my local homeless people. I don't support that. I think it's super sad that we have homeless, but at least I know my homeless people. I know, okay, there's, Billy Bob, Joe, okay, the regular crew's here, right? They're not going to do me any harm. They just, because I know them. So I'm worried about the new group that I've never seen before. And I'm like, I don't know that group of girls. I don't know, why are these kids here? It's school time. So you have to be able to figure out what time it is. Is it a holiday? Is it a school day? Like, there's some things that is called an environmental check. You just go down the checklist. You take a deep breath. And then, why did this car park next to me? I don't know why. And they're not getting out? Well, I'm not going to get out. What are they doing? So you have to kind of look around and kind of figure out what's going on in your environment. I have several different gas stations that I go to. If I don't feel comfortable at one, I go to another one. Speaking of gas, let me ask you, I'm going to call you out real quick, my Kimberly. How much gas do you have right now in your car?
I never let it get below half a tank.
My girl,
Yeah.
You get a free shirt. It's coming to you.
Hey, I learned the hard way. I got stuck in a wildfire in California with an empty tank of gas.
I didn't even think about natural disaster even.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I'm going to keep that. I'm taking that.
And that taught me I never go below half a tank anymore, because I
now
need to
actually
get out of the environment if there's an emergency.
That's insane. Well, it's interesting you just said that. A lot of and I'm not calling out electric vehicles per se, but that is something that you need to think about in purchasing your next car, or continuing with the current car you have. Because if the grid goes down, worst case scenario, do you have a bicycle?
See, ladies, I'm buying a bicycle because
I think I'm buying one too.
Yeah. If the grid goes down, I'm not going to be able to get gas for my golf cart or my car, because you can't pump gas with no electricity. And I think if the grid goes down, I want a bicycle so I can throw my backpack on and I can pedal where I need to go. Now, is the grocery store going to be open? Probably not, but there might be a farmer that's got some food, or there might be a place that I need to go. And if I have a
neighbors, know your neighbors, know who's
your neighbor,
know who's your local farm. I mean, you really got to start making some friends.
Yeah. And okay, Amber, I'm going to tell you this funny story, and I wasn't planning on sharing this, but I will, because we're on the topic. I live in a very, very large planned community. It's a over 55 community. I love it here. It's so fun. And I live on a circle. In other words, there's one entrance and it circles around. And I love that, because we block that entrance, we're good. And so there was a little neighborhood party, kind of like a get to know everybody party, like we're going to start doing neighborhood parties and this and that sort of thing. And I'm thinking, heck, I don't want a party. I want to know who has military training, who's got what weapons, who knows how to work electricity, who worked for the water treatment plant.
Yes, that is perfect. Absolutely perfect.
But no one else shared. They're like eating Doritos and drinking beer and, playing golf. And I'm thinking, no, people, we need to have a plan. Yeah.
That is awesome. Hey, you know what? It's just starting the conversation. If we can just start, that's all we need to do.
Just plant the seed, because it never, being 6 months ahead of a disaster is so much better than being one day late. Because if the grid goes down, if we have some type of issue here within our country, it's immediate. The impact is immediate. There's no planning after that. There's no, I'll get things then. Being ahead of any type of issue that's going to limit our resources is one of the smartest things that you can do.
100%. Well, we all currently know what's going on in Israel.
Yes.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yes.
It's happening. What did our government do for Hawaii and didn't do? So we really, and I'm not here to scare anyone by any means, but we just need to be aware, plant the seed.
Yeah.
What's going on? Thank God for YouTube. Thank God for Instagram.
Yeah.
TikTok. Of course, they have their own rabbit holes, but if you can stick with like-minded people, that is planting the seed worldwide. Look how many followers you have. You have 200,000, 250,000. It's incredible. You are bringing awareness to your crew, and I'm forever grateful.
Yeah.
So if you ever need anything, Wadi.
Well, I find this so very important. And ladies, I want to stress, this is not to upset you. This is not to instill fear. This is to empower you, to make you feel capable and in charge. And in any situation, we all look to the person who is feeling capable and in charge. And those people are the leaders. Let's be the leaders. Let's get the information early. Let's empower ourselves, because as you can see, this is not complicated things that we need to do. This is knowledge and common sense that maybe we haven't thought about because we have lives, we have things we're doing, but Amber knows these things. So I just feel like this is such great, important information. And the very best scenario is we don't ever need any of it. Right. That's the best scenario. And being prepared for it and being a strong presence in the world that you work in is one of the best ways to make sure that we stay safe, along with these great tips from Amber.
Thank you. It's your willingness to learn, your willingness to open up that conversation. And like you said, we're not here to scare anyone. You can even, quote unquote, survive for 3 days in your apartment, in your house. That is huge. And, that even I'm not talking like months on end, but 3 days is a lot. Just 3 days of prepping or how do you have water? What if the pipes burst? What if we have another freeze? We're clearly our grid is not stable enough. I mean, when it rains here, it floods for days. It's like we haven't really figured out like a good water deterrent here. Like I don't know what's happening. This is 20.
We need water management.
Yeah, I know what's happening. What are we doing? So we really do have to just make sure you can survive on your own for 3 days. If your goal is 3 days, food, your water. 3 days. Just think 3 days and not 3 months. So
yeah. And knowledge is power. And we want to be powerful women. One of the things that I'm going to do in my own life, and maybe ladies, you'll find this helpful, I hope you do, is I'm going to take a day, and I've kind of sort of done it, but I'm going to take a day, and from the minute I wake up until I go to bed, I'm going to understand what I would need to replace the services that the grid provides us, that tap that you turn on the water, all those things. How do I manage a day without that? If that somehow was interrupted for flooding, or if the grid went down, or if we had a tremendous storm. So just being very aware of what I need to have on hand in order to take care of myself. For once I have an entire day down, all I do is multiply that out. Maybe I have a week, now I have a week of supplies that if nothing is provided of the services that we count on and we kind of take for granted, we pay for them, we take them for granted. What if they weren't there? And what can we do to make sure that we get through that in the most comfortable way possible?
Absolutely. A lot of people don't even realize the restroom scenario. I was without water in our last freeze, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. This is like, can you go to the bathroom here? It's a lot. Yeah. Well, I would love to piggyback on that whenever you do end up doing. That'd be great.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one more question and then I have an idea.
Oh, God,
I have no shortage of
getting
ideas.
better.
Sometimes they're good ideas, but restrooms, public restrooms.
Did you see my video on Instagram on being safe?
I think I did because you said they're going to come under the
Yeah.
side. So
Yeah.
tell us your tips.
Well, so, public restrooms are now with every kind of the the movement, right? So like you really have to be extra careful with and that's okay. Like whatever, whatever's happening,
Yeah,
you just
we
gotta
don't
be
want to go
aware.
down the political
Yeah,
road.
oh no, not. But
It just
there
is.
is even just regular, restrooms, like if emergency situation, right, you gotta go to the bathroom. So you have to, if you're not carrying a pew, if you're just going without, like maybe even bear spray, wasp spray, whatever tool you end up using, you don't have that at the moment you do go to the restroom. You have to think about what's in the restroom with you, like the tampon box, the toilet paper rack thing.
And in the video, she actually takes it off the wall. It's really a great one.
It's like 2 screws. Like you can, in case of emergency, you're going to be able to rip stuff off.
To rip that off. You're going to have.
Yeah, and the underneath and above, right? That's their only way to get to you. Of course, they can push open the door, but that lock is, you'll be able to muster. But if that does happen, use tools that are around you. Use your feet. Use the back of the toilet lid. Some of them still, if you have them, you could actually open. That weighs so much, and once you hit somebody with that, it's game over. Yell. Hey, yell the R word, the RAPE word.
Yeah.
Yell what's happening. Like people tend to freak out and close and don't say anything because this is happening. Screw that. Yell, scream. This is not my mom. This is not my dad. Yell. I don't know how old we are age wise. Like, kind of figure out if something is happening. Stay in the fight. I don't care. Stay in the fight. Fight. Do something. Use your knees. Use your elbows. Use something. Just stay in the fight, because the bad people, they are wanting a victim. Just don't be a victim. Keep fighting. Keep like punching and it's close quarters. It's scary. You're at your most vulnerable point in the bathroom. Know that going in. It's just that knowledge. And then I've had people DM me and be like, oh, I was in the bathroom and like I made sure to see if the lid could come off and the toilet paper roll and the tampon box could come off and how loose it was.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
It's such common sense and such like, why didn't I think about that? That's what's so wonderful about the information you share. It's just so doable.
Thank you. It is doable. And that's, I'm glad you said that. Thank you. That means a lot.
Okay. So I have an idea. Amber does not know this. I just had the idea while we're talking. It might freak her out, but there we have it. I would like to schedule some time with Amber to do a more in-depth training session. If you would like to join me, we can do it on Zoom, and I can send out a Zoom link to everybody that would like to join us. So would like to join in, and we can get Amber. It's going to feel like one-on-one because you'll be in your home on the computer. She'll be talking to us. She'll be able to answer questions, get specific. I would like to have a little in-depth training, because any time that I spend preparing is so worth it, because if it saves even one incident of getting your car keys stolen and your house keys stolen and all that, it's so worth it. So if you're interested in joining me, hopefully this is okay with you, Amber.
Well, yeah, let's go. Anything to help the community.
Interested in joining me and a bunch of other ladies having a one-on-one training with Amber, put it in the comment box down below and I'll have my assistant get to you and we'll put together a list. I'll get with Amber. We'll figure out the details, the pricing and that sort of thing. Absolutely. And we'll go from there. In addition, if you're a realtor or if you're in another situation in a business that needs some common sense on how to keep your fellow employees or maybe your employees or whoever safe, this is such a great resource. She's available now. She's not going to be available forever. I know she's going to get too busy and then she's not going to do these anymore. So if you're interested, put it down in the comment below. My assistant Care will get with you and we'll kind of put it all together and have a little one-on-one time time with Amber. Does that work for you? I hope it does.
Incredible. I do have to say, you know, for the followers that are following you, you really are innovative and really care about your people and your followers to actually do that. So really, the followers, whoever you guys are, all like 500,000, you know, you really have a super special lady here. So I'm whatever you want to do, we'll do it.
Okay, thank you. That's so sweet. Now tell us again the name of your business. It's one of my Not Harmless. I think that's so cute. It's right on your shirt. Yeah. And then how do we find you on Instagram and YouTube? And I'm going to have it listed below, but just kind of talk us through what you do and what you share on those platforms.
Thank you so much. Yes. So Not Harmless. It's also not to be a victim, in that kind of realm, time to wake up, not woke or anything like that. Just simple everyday things that I'm seeing y'all do that needs to be fixed. It's super simple stuff, like we've been talking this whole time. Nothing's been out of the box. I haven't created a new wheel or anything here. It's just time to wake up, not a big deal, and you can do it with simple measures. And I do that on my Instagram page. My last name Haddock is HADDOCK_Amber. And I'm actually wearing this shirt, which is hilarious. So you'll see me pop up. So just follow me and DM me. I actually am one of the few people who answers their direct messaging. So message me there. Don't message me on the long stream with other people, because I won't be able to catch up. So DM me, and obviously stick with Kimberly, because I'm not leaving her.
You know, I think things are going to be bumpy for a while. You know, unfortunately, it's just the way things are right now. But ladies, let's be smart. Let's prepare.
Right.
You know, let's walk into this situation with a sense of power and not a sense of fear. And that's really important to me. Amber, this has been so wonderful. Thank you for taking time out of your day to do this. I appreciate you so much. I am sure you're going to be a regular on the channel here, because as things move forward, we're going to learn more and need more from you. And I hope that you'll join us again.
Of course. I love it. Thank you, Miss Pretty Over 50.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I'm so excited about having the opportunity to meet Amber. For her to take time out of her life to spend with us is such a gift. If you want to join me in a class, I think it would be so much fun with Amber. Just put it in the comment section down below. Care will get in touch with you and we'll put it all together. I think it would be an amazing experience, and we can just keep connected with Amber that way. All right, everyone. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you found this as fun and interesting as I did. Remember, it just makes my day when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.